Florida is once again going to be a key state in this election. If Trump loses Florida, he's got almost no chance of being president. If he wins Florida, then it's going to be a long night. Kind of ironic that the outcome, which determines if we'll get our first female president, hinges on America's wang.
And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
That's right.
Of the seed of man.
The word seed is sperm, and sperm comes through having sex.
It's shut out of your father's rod.
Right.
To put it in layman terms, in his penis.
That's right.
That means a man put his penis in a woman and bust off in it.
Then the angel said to him, "Take out the entrails of this fish, and lay up his heart and his gall and his liver for thee. For these are necessary for useful medicines."
The rest of the chapters of the book of Esther,
Go ahead.
which are found neither in the Hebrew nor in the Chaldee.
Greetings, fellow worker slaves, podcasting at 128 kilobits from the Fortress of Squalitude, not far from the Redneck Mecca. This is the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. I'm your host, Tucker. Professor Fuzznuts is curled up on the chair beside me. Yes, it's a podcast hosted by a guy, and he's a cat. Get over it. This is a biblical Apocrypha episode, and I'm joined once again by Chris from the Podunk Polymath podcast. Near the very end of the episode, Chris has problems with his internet, so some of the information about where you can find his show is garbled, but I'll have a link to all of it in the show notes for this episode. And since this is going to be the last time I talk with you before the election, I want to urge every American out there to go vote, if you haven't already. Those of you who live in red states like myself, I want to say that a vote for Gary Johnson in this election is a vote for Hillary in 2020. If Gary Johnson gets 5% of the vote this time around, the Libertarian Party will qualify for federal matching funds in 2020, and a better-known Libertarian Party is more likely to take votes from whomever the Republicans will be running then than they are Hillary. Believe me, Hillary's going to be needing those votes in 2020 because the next 4 years are going to be nothing more than the Republicans blocking everything she does and holding pointless investigation after pointless investigation. As Eric Hoffer points out in The True Believer, this makes the conditions almost perfect for a despot to come to power. And whomever the GOP runs in 2020, they'll be following the Trump model closely because it served him so well in this election. I don't know what I'll be doing on election day after I vote besides drinking heavily. I may put out a special episode, or I might be working on a GoFundMe campaign to move to Canada. Might even look to move to Canada if Hillary wins, because I can't see the insanity of the past few weeks dying down just because Hillary's president. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to Tobit. Okay, and back yet again for another stab at the Apocrypha is Chris from the Podunk Polymath podcast. Say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody. Sorry.
That's quite all right. And this time we're going to be tackling Tobit, which, I don't know. I probably should have looked that up as to who he is or what,
Well, it's an interesting name, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that would sound like the spirit guide in Ghostbusters or whatever?
Yeah, Tobin Spirit Guide. The book. Let's see. According to Wikipedia, the Book of Tobit is. Let me see here. Is a book of scripture that is part of the Catholic and Orthodox biblical canon, pronounced canonical by the Council of Hippo in 393, Councils of Carthage of 397 and 417, Council of Florence in 1442, and confirmed by for Roman Catholics by the Council of Trent in 1546. And composition, let's see here. The story in the book of Tobit is set in the 8th century BC, and it obviously could not have been written in that time period because of the mistakes that were made in it, and they now think it was made like 225 or 175 BCE. So, and nobody has any idea who wrote it.
There's it's this brief little pre-summary. It says tells the story of Tobit, a righteous Israelite from the tribe of Naphtali, living in Nineveh, after Sargon II had deported the northern tribes of Israel to Assyria in 721.
Yeah.
Nineveh was in Babylon, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right, well, you want to take the first two verses and we'll see how bad this thing is?
Let's do it. All right. The book of the words of Tobit, son of Tobiel, the son of Enianil, here we go with the names, the son of Aduel, the son of Gabael, of the seed of Azael, and the tribe of Naphtali, who in the time of Enemisar, king of the Assyrians, was led captive out of Thisbe, which is at the right hand of the city, that city, which is called properly Naphtali, in Galilee above Azer.
I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the ways of truth and justice, and I did many alms deeds to my brethren. Fuzznuts, you terrible cat. And my nation, which came with me to Nineveh, into the land of the Assyrians, and when I was in my own country, in the land of Israel, being but young, all the tribe of Naphtali, my father, fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there, where the temple of the habituation of the Most High was consecrated and built for all ages. Now, okay, so when it says his father fell from the house of Jerusalem, what the hell does that mean? Does that mean he was born from the house, he was expelled from the family, or he fell off the roof?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It sounds literally like he fell off the roof, like he was fucking hammering some shit and he fell off. I don't know if that means he fell into ill repute or whatever, and they didn't want him anymore. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Fucking dog. All right. Let's see. Where were we?
Number
5.
Yeah.
Now all the tribes which together revolted in the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal, which is the golden calf one, I believe. But I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feasts, as it was ordained unto all people of Israel by an everlasting decree, having the first fruits and tenths of increase with that which was first shorn, and then them gave I at the altar to the priests, the children of Aaron. Okay.
So, despite the fact that his dad was worshipping Baal, or he's still a good Jew.
Of course he is.
Yeah. The first 10th part of all increase I gave to the sons of Aaron, who ministered at Jerusalem. Another 10th part I sold away and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. And the third I gave unto them whom it was meet, as Deborah, my father's mother, had commanded me, because I was left an orphan by my father. Yeah.
Wow. So this guy was an orphan. All right.
Raised by his grandmother, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So I got an orphan boy. That's always a good story.
Yeah.
Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man, I married Anna. Oh, that's a fucking normal name for here.
Yeah.
I married Anna of mine own kindred, and of her I beget Tobias, another semi-normal name. And when we were carried away captives to Nineveh, all my brethren and those that were of my kindred did eat of the bread of the Gentiles, non-Jews.
Okay, so he married his sister?
Of mine own kindred.
I mean, she's family.
Cousin fucker. Sounds like at least.
Okay. But I kept myself from eating because I remembered God with all my heart. Well, then how the fuck did you not starve to death?
I think I don't know. He's not eating their food. He's eating his fucking unleavened bread or wherever the fuck he's got hidden. I don't fucking know. And the Most High gave me grace and favor before Enemisar, so that I was his purveyor. And I went into Medea and left in trust with Gabriel, the brother of Gabrius, at Rages, a city of Medea, 10 talents of silver.
Yeah, it was big bucks back then.
Yeah, he's making his way now. He's in the favor of Enemisar.
Yeah. Now, when Enemisar was dead, Sennacherib, his son, reigned in his stead, whose estate was troubled, that I could not go into Medea. And in the time of Enemisar, I gave many alms to my brethren, and gave my bread to the hungry. What the fuck does this one thing have to do with the other?
I don't know. They're bad about this random shit just out of nowhere. And my clothes to the naked, and if I saw any of my nation dead or cast about the walls of Nineveh, I buried him.
Wait. Okay. So if he saw one of his fellow Jews like leaning up against the wall, he just buried him. He didn't worry if they were dead or not.
I'm not dead.
Yes, you are. You'll be stone cold in a moment.
That's pretty bizarre. And I guess it's because you're supposed to bury him, and so their souls will go to heaven or whatever. Yeah. I guess. And if the king, oh wait, no,
yeah,
it's your turn. Is it?
No, it's still your turn.
Okay. And if the king, oh Lord, Sennacherib has slain any when he was come and fled from Judea, I buried them privily, for in his wrath he killed many, but the bodies were not found, and when they were sought for of the king. So he's buried them where nobody could find them, I guess.
Yeah, so he's like a stealth undertaker.
He didn't want them to find the bodies.
Have you seen the movie Brazil?
Yep.
Okay, you remember Robert De Niro's character, Harry Tuttle? He's the ninja air conditioner repairman. I'm picturing this guy like that, only he's going around burying people.
Sounds like, in Vegas, all the bodies buried in the desert or whatever, like Goodfellas or some shit. I mean, Casino or whatever.
Yeah. And when one of the Ninevites went and complained of me to the king that I buried them and hid myself, understanding that I was sought for to be put to death, I withdrew myself for fear. So this guy gets buried, digs himself out, and goes to the king and says, "Hey, some asshole just buried me alive." That's what it reads like. Then what were you going to say?
I was just reading it again, and yeah, it sounds like he literally did bury him. He's like, "Wait, I wasn't dead, God damn it!"
Then all my goods were forcibly taken away. Neither was there anything left me besides my wife Anna and my son Tobias.
Interesting. Well, that's what you get, burying people alive, motherfucker.
No.
And there passed not 5 and 50 days, but before 2 of his sons killed him, and they fled into the... What the fuck? Let me read that again. And there passed not 5 and 50 days before 2 of his sons killed him, and they fled into the mountains of Ararat. And Sarchedonus his son reigned in his stead, who appointed over his father's accounts, and over all of his affairs, Achicaris, my brother's Anil's son. What? Okay, I'm confused. Is it they're talking about the king, or are they talking about Tobit?
I think they're talking about the king, and then fucking his nephew becomes like the accountant for the king, the new king.
Okay, that's what I thought.
One more.
Oh, what am I? Is it 21 or 22?
22.
I'm sorry. And Achacarus, I don't know, entreating for me, I returned to Nibana. Now Achacarus was cupbearer and keeper of the signet, and steward and overseer of the accounts, and Sarchedonus appointed him next unto him, and he was my brother's son. So he's trying to get back in good graces.
Yeah, looks that way. Now, when I was come home again, and my wife Anna was restored unto me with my son Tobias, in the feast of Pentecost, which is the holy feast of the 7 weeks, there was a good dinner prepared me, in the which I sat down to eat. Okay, that's nice. And when I saw the abundance of meat, I said to my son, Go and bring what poor man soever thou shalt find out of our brethren, who is mindful of the Lord, and lo, I tarry for thee.
Interesting. But he came again and said, Father, one of our nation is strangled, and is cast out in the marketplace. Then before I had tasted of any of the damn meat, sorry I put that part in there, I started up and took him up into a room until the going down of the sun. Okay.
So he went out, grabbed a body, drug it back to his place, and put it in the attic?
It sounds like it.
Until sunset?
I think this guy's a necker. He's a necker in the necrophilia or some shit.
Sounds like it. Then I returned and washed myself and ate my meat in heaviness, remembering that the prophecy of Amos, as he said, Your feast shall be turned into mourning, and all your mirth into lamentation.
Poor guy. I don't know the prophecy of Amos, but it sounds pretty dark. Therefore I wept, and after going down to the sun, I went and made a grave and buried him. But my neighbors mocked me and said, This man is not yet afraid to be put to death for this matter, who fled away, and yet, lo, he burieth the dead again. So they're saying he'll get in trouble again for burying bodies. Apparently he's got a fetish for burying shit.
Yeah, but, for health and sanitation reasons, it's a good idea to bury bodies.
Exactly. I don't understand the problem there.
The same night also I returned from the burial and slept by the wall of my courtyard, being polluted, and my face was uncovered. And I knew not that there were sparrows in the wall, and mine eyes being open, the sparrows muted warm dung into my eyes, and a whiteness came in my eyes, and I went to the physicians, but they helped me not. Moreover, Acarius did nourish me until I went into Elimaeus.
So the bird shit in his eyes? What the fuck, man? That's rough.
Now, what is the apologetic that says, it has to be true because you wouldn't put embarrassing things into it if it wasn't true?
Exactly. Yeah, I've heard that argument before. Yeah.
And I mean, so you could say that about this, but this already sounds pretty unbelievable,
But they got so muted warm dung. That just sounds, it's very evocative, I don't know. It's pretty gross. Anyway, and my wife Anna did take women's works to do, and when she had sent them home to their owners, they paid her wages and gave her also besides a kid, a baby goat.
Yeah. And when it was in my house and began to cry, I said unto her, From whence is this kid? Is it not stolen? Render it to the owners, for it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen. But she replied upon me, It was given for a gift more than the wages. Howbeit I did not believe her, but bade her render it to the owners, and I was abashed at her. But she replied upon me, Where are thine alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works are known. Huh?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
It's like, okay, so where's your money and all, that you're giving to the church and all your good acts? We know all your shit, but we just got a big old paragraph about how good he was, etc., etc.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, so we're on to 3.
Yeah.
Then I, being grieved, did weep, and in my sorrow prayed, saying, O Lord, thou art just, and all thy works and all thy ways are mercy and truth, and thou judgest truly and justly forever. Yeah, okay.
Remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorances and the sins of... I'm assuming that's my and not the symbol for Mercury.
Yeah.
Fathers who have sinned before thee.
You got the next one.
Yeah. For they obeyed... Sorry. It's all right. For they obeyed not only thy commandments... Wait a minute. Oh, for they obeyed not thy commandments. There we go. Wherefore thou hast delivered us for a spoil, and unto captivity, and unto death, and for a proverb of reproach to all the nations among whom we are dispersed.
Okay. And now thy judgments are many and true. Deal with me according to my sins and my fathers, because we have not kept thy commandments, neither have walked in truth before thee. Now therefore deal with me as seemeth best unto thee, and command my spirit to be taken from me, that I may be dissolved and become earth. For it is profitable for me to die rather than to live, because I have heard false reproaches, and have much sorrow. Command therefore that I may now be delivered out of this distress, and go into the everlasting place. Turn not thy face away from me.
Boy, he's a whiny little fucker, isn't he?
Yeah, he kind of is, yeah.
His wife says, you're a stupid idiot, this was a gift. And he goes all crying, oh God, kill me, I don't want to live. The wife has talked back to me.
Exactly.
All right. It came to pass the same day that in Ecbatani, a city of Media, Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, was also reproached by her father's maids, because that she had been married to 7 husbands, whom Asmodeus, the evil spirit, had killed before they had lain with her. Dost thou not know, said they, that thou hast strangled thine husbands? Thou hast had already 7 husbands, neither wast thou named after any of them. Okay.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, you know, somebody comes up to me and says, look, man, this chick's been married like 5-6 times. All her husbands have died under mysterious circumstances before the wedding night. But, you know, because of the family traditions and obligations laid out in the Bible, you got to marry her next. I'd be like, fuck you.
Exactly. I'd rather do some Onan shit. You know, you're supposed to impregnate him, and then he pulls out and gets killed. Fuck. Yeah. Kill my ass. Shit. And Asmodeus sounds familiar to me.
Yeah. Well, Asmodeus is, you know, it's an evil spirit of some sort.
I've heard it before, I think.
Yeah.
Is it me, or is it you?
Yeah, it's you. 9.
Wherefore dost thou beat us for them? If they be dead, go thy ways after them. Let us never see of thee either son or daughter. When she heard these things, she was very sorrowful, so that she thought to have strangled herself. And she said, I am the only daughter of my father, and if I do this, it shall be a reproach unto him, and I shall bring his old age with sorrow into the grave. Well, that's depressing.
Yeah, well, but I don't understand why we went from Tobit to this chick.
Yeah, I don't either. Just jump around all the fucking time. I don't get it.
Then she prayed toward the window and said, Blessed art thou, O Lord my God, and thine holy and glorious name is blessed and honorable forever. Let all thy works praise thee forever. And now, O Lord, I set mine eyes and my face toward thee. And
say, take me out of the earth, that I may hear no more than no more the reproach. Thou knowest, Lord, that I am pure from all sin with man. Oh, she's a virgin. Okay.
And that I never polluted my name, nor the name of my father, in the land of my captivity. I am the only daughter of my father, neither hath he any child to be his heir, neither any near kinsman, nor any son of his alive to whom I may keep myself for a wife. Wait, she'd marry her brother? That's disgusting. My 7 husbands are already dead, and why should I live? But if it please not thee that I should die, command some regard to be had of me, and pity taken of me, that I hear no more reproach.
Oh my goodness. She's a mess. So the prayers of them both were heard before the majesty of the great God, and Raphael was sent to heal them both, that is, to scale away the whiteness of Tobit's eyes from the bird shit, and to give Sarah the daughter of Raguel for a wife to Tobias the son of Tobit, and to bind Asmodeus the evil spirit, because she belonged to Tobias by right of inheritance. The selfsame time came Tobit home, and entered into his house, and Sarah the daughter of Raguel came down from her upper chamber. Well, what they fucking do.
So why did this switch from first person to third person?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. In that day, Tobit remembered the money which he had committed to Gabael in rages of Medea, and said with himself, I have wished for death. Wherefore do I not call for my son Tobias, that I may signify to him of the money before I die?
And when he had called him, he said, My son, when I am dead, bury me, and despise not thy mother, but honor her all the days of thy life, and do that which shall please her, and grieve her not. Remember, my son, that she saw many dangers for thee when thou wast in her womb, and when she is dead, bury her by me in one grave. Her by me in one grave. Okay.
For if thou deal truly, my son, be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin, or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. For if thou deal truly, thy doing shall prosperously succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly.
Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious. Neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of God should not be turned away from thee.
Okay, now.
Okay.
How do you give how do you give alms of your substance? I mean, that sounds like,
a piece of your flesh or something. Here, have a toenail.
Or well, I was thinking more along the lines of facial.
Gross. Here you go. Here's your alms right here, motherfucker.
Biblical bukkake.
Oh, gross. That sounds like a really bad porn. I can't remember the fuck I was.
8.
8. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little, but just give some shit.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness.
For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in sight of the Most High. Beware of all here was whoredom. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are all the children of the prophets, Noe, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Marry only Jews.
Yeah. Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife from them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want, for lewdness is the mother of famine. Really? Really? I think there's a lot of people out there who've made a good living off of porn.
Yeah, I don't see how lewdness is the mother of famine.
Let not the wages of any man which hath wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve God, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation.
Okay. Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. Give of thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garments to them that are naked, and according to thine abundance give alms, and let not thine eye be envious when thou givest alms. You just said all this shit.
Yeah. Pour out thy bread on the burial of the just, but give nothing to the wicked. Ask counsel of all that are wise, and despise not any counsel that is profitable. So, if you can't make a buck off of it, don't listen to it. Even if it's something important like, don't eat that plant, it's poisonous.
Yeah. Is it me again?
Yeah, 19.
Okay. Bless the Lord thy God always, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed, and that all thy paths and counsels may prosper. For every nation hath not counsel, but the Lord himself giveth all good things, and he humbleth whom he will, as he will. Now therefore, my son, remember my commandments, neither let them be put out of thy mind. And now I signify this to they that I committed 10 talents to Gabael, the son of Gabrius, at Rages in Medea.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Next one.
And fear not, my son, that we are made poor, for thou hast much wealth, if thou fear God, and depart from all sin, and do that which is pleasing in his sight.
Guggenheim.
Okay. Do you know what any of that fucking shit even meant?
No, not a fucking clue. I mean, we hit the 10 talents was mentioned before, but you know, why this guy suddenly a whiny bitch and all that? No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The last part of that was just a bunch of do good stuff, you know, and do what I say, and you know all this bullshit.
Yeah. All right, let's start with 5 here. Tobias then answered and said, Father, I will do all things which thou hast commanded me, but how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not?
Then he gave him the handwriting and said unto him, Seek thee a man which may go with thee, whiles I yet live, and I will give him wages, and go and receive the money. Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael. That was an angel.
Yeah. But he knew not, and said unto him, Canst thou go with me to Rages, and knowest thou those places well? To whom the angel said, I will go with thee, and I know the way well, for I have lodged with our brother Gabael. So you just walk up to some random stranger in the street and say, hey, you want to take this long, arduous journey by foot, most likely, possibly on, you know, horse or muleback, to this other city, and we'll go hang out with these people I've never met. Oh,
that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I know that motherfucker.
That's just, that's pretty bizarre. It could be a fucking thief for like, oh yeah, I know him, yeah. Get out in the middle of nowhere, he fucking robs and kills your ass. Anyway. Then Tobias said unto him, Tarry for me, till I tell my father. Then he said unto him, Go and tarry not. So he went in and said to his father, Behold, I have found one which will go with me randomly. Then he said, Call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with thee. Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, is he Jewish? If he's Jewish, you can go with him.
Exactly.
If he's not Jewish, then he's dangerous.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So he called him, and he came in, and they saluted one another. Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, shew me of what tribe and family thou art. So I'm guessing he's checking to see if the guy's circumcised?
Oh, saluted. I don't know. I would have thought saluted just meant the old term of salute, like greeted each other, but maybe they pulled it and that's the way they did it.
Well, at one point in time, I know in like Greece and Rome, when they took an oath, they cupped their nutsack.
I wouldn't be surprised to see if they're. Yeah, that might be. You might be right. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. To him he said, Dost thou seek for a tribe or family or an hired man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name. Then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the great, and of thy brethren.
Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family. For thou art my brother of an honest and good stock. For I know Ananias and Jonathas, sons of the great Samias, as we went together to Jerusalem to worship, and offered the firstborn and the tenths of the fruits, and they were not seduced with the error of our brethren. My brother, thou art of good stock. Hey! But tell me, what wages shall I give thee? Wilt thou a drachm a day in things necessary as to mine own son? I wonder if that's drachm. I wonder if that's like a ration of wine.
Could be,
and not currency.
Drachma wasn't that the Greek currency? I thought
it's a unit of weight formerly used by apothecaries. It's an ancient silver coin based on the Attic or Hellenistic drachma, according to the Googles.
Yeah.
So it could have been an ounce of weed, an eighth of an ounce of weed, or it could have been a silver coin.
Let's just say weed for fun.
Makes a better story that way.
Let's see. Yeah, yea, moreover, if ye return safe, I will add something to thy wages. So they were well pleased. Then he said to Tobias, Prepare thyself for the journey, and God send you a good journey. And when his son had prepared all things for the journey, his father said, Go thou with this man, and God, which dwelleth in heaven, prosper your journey, and the angel of God keep you company. So they went forth both, and the young man's dog with them. Well, let's just throw the dog in there.
Yeah, why not? Oh, yeah. But Anna, his mother, wept, and said to Tobit, Why hast thou sent away our son? Is he not the staff of our hand, in going in and out before us? Be not greedy to add money to money, but let it be as refuse in respect of our child.
Shut up, woman. For that which the Lord hath given us to live with doth suffice us. Then she said, oh shit. Then said Tobit to her, Take no care, my sister. What? He shall. Maybe it is his fucking sister. He shall return in safety, and thine eyes shall see him.
For the good angel will keep him company, and his journey shall be prosperous, and he shall return safe. Then she made an end of weeping, because he showed her the back of his hand.
God damn. That's horrible.
Yeah, well, you want to start the next one?
Yeah. And as they went on their journey, they came in the evening to the river Tigris, and they lodged there. And when the young man went down to wash himself, a fish leaped out of the river and would have devoured him. Really?
That's a big-ass fucking fish.
Yes, that's a ginormous fuck in the river Tigris. Okay. Whatever.
Then the angel said unto him, Take the fish. And the young man laid hold of the fish and drew it to land. To whom the angel said, Open the fish, and take the heart and the liver and the gall, and put them up safely. This is, I'm guessing, where they came, where that guy's reading that thing from, that I put in the bumper clip for these episodes.
Oh, yeah. That probably is where it came from.
Yeah.
So the young man did as the angel commanded him, and when they had roasted the fish, they did eat it. Then they both went on their way till they drew near to Ecbatane. Then the young man said to the angel, Brother Azarias, to what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish?
And he said to him, touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or an evil spirit trouble any, we must make a smoke thereof before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed. As for the gall, it is good to anoint a man that hath whiteness in his eyes, and he shall be healed. See, if his dad had known this, he could have gotten the bird shit out of his eyes.
Exactly. And I just want to point out, nobody likes their party to be vexed. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's true.
And when they were come near to Rages, the angel said to the young man, Brother, today we shall lodge with Regul, who is thy cousin. He also hath only one only daughter, named Sarah. I will speak for her, that she may be given thee for a wife. Well, goddamn, okay.
So he's going to speak for her. Does that mean he's going to, instead of her answering questions, he's going to give the answers, or is he gonna go into Regul's house and say, "Yo, cocksucker, give this boy your bitch"?
He's probably just going to negotiate because women are incapable of speaking for themselves.
That's true. For to thee doth the right of her appertain, seeing thou only art of her kindred. You know what they say? If you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family. And the closer the kin, the deeper it goes in.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And the maid is fair and wise. She's had 7 husbands who've all died.
Yeah.
Now, therefore, hear me, and I will speak to her father, and when we return from Rages, we will celebrate the marriage, for I know that Regul cannot marry her to another according to the law of Moses, but he shall be guilty of death, because the right of inheritance doth rather appertain to thee than to any other. Now, he's not telling the dude that, hey, she's been married 7 times and all her husbands have died before they've gotten their dick dipped.
Yeah.
That's kind of a crucial piece of information.
Exactly. He's like a used car salesman, not telling you that the fucking engine's about to blow up or something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
13.
Then the young man answered the angel, I have heard, Brother Azarias, that this maid hath been given to us 7 men who all died in the marriage chamber, so he knows. Okay.
But how does he know? I mean, he didn't even know of her existence, according to this, until...
He's hanging out with an angel, man. Angels know everything. And now I'm the only one other angel's the one that told him. I don't know. That's weird. I am the only son of my father, and I am afraid lest if I go unto her I die as the others before. For a wicked spirit loveth her, which hurteth no body, but those which come unto her. Wherefore I also fear lest I die, and bring my father's and my mother's life because of me to grave with sorrow, for they have no other son to bury them.
Wait, well, how can anyone have come unto her if they all die before they've had sex with her?
That's a good question. I don't know. Because that literally does mean if you come unto her, it means you fucked, right?
That's the way I would think. Then the angel said unto him, Dost thou not remember the precepts which thy father gave thee, that thou shouldest marry a wife of thine own kindred? Wherefore hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given thee to wife, and make thou no reckoning of the evil spirit, for this same night shall she be given thee in marriage. That's kind of sockish. You walk in, hey, see this chick? Yeah, you're now married to her.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. And when thou shalt come into the marriage chamber, thou shalt take the ashes of perfume, and shalt lay upon them some of the heart and liver of the fish, and shall make a smoke with it. And the devil shall smell it, and flee away, never come again any more. But when thou shalt come to her, rise up both of you, and pray to God, which is merciful, who will have pity on you, and save you. Fear not, for she is appointed unto thee from the beginning, and thou shalt preserve her, and she shall go with thee. Moreover, I suppose... You suppose? You're a fucking angel. You know that she's been destined to this guy's... to be this guy's wife since the beginning, and now you suppose that she shall bear thee children. Now when Tobias had heard these things, he loved her, and his heart was effectually joined to her.
What does that have to do with anything? Oh, now I love you. Okay. All of a sudden.
But what kind of psychological damage does she gotta have? She walks into the wedding chamber, or the nuptial chamber, drops her robe, and her husband immediately dies on the spot. I mean,
yeah, that's some PTSD shit right there.
What was that? What was that movie? There was a bad movie made in the late '60s, early '70s about some chick who gets raped and then taken over by aliens. And she goes around extracting her revenge because whenever she has sex with a guy, she can kill him. And she's like, I forget the name of it, but she's like, one of the lines in the movie is, "Now I can kill with my cunt."
I don't know, Tucker. You might want to tell me. That sounds very interesting, actually.
One of my ex-girlfriends, she loved that movie. But I can't remember the name of it. It was something Sky. Liquid Sky. That's the name of it.
Liquid Sky. Yeah. 82, actually.
82, yeah.
Okay. All right. Round 7. And when they were come to Ecbatane, they came to the house of Ragul, and Sarah met them, and after they had saluted one another again, she brought them into the house, and then said Ragul to Edna his wife, "How like is this young man to Tobit my cousin?"
How the fuck does she know this asshole? They never met.
I don't know.
And Ragul asked them, "From whence are ye, brethren?" To whom they said, "We are the sons of Nephalium, which are captives in Nineveh." Then he said to them, "Do ye know Tobit our kinsman?" And they said, "We know him." Then said he, "Is he in good health?" What the fuck why would you not say, "Yeah, the reason I look like your cousin is because I am your fucking cousin"?
And they said, "He is both alive and in good health." And Tobias said, "He is my father." Then Ragul leaped up and kissed him and wept. Awesome.
And blessed him, and said unto him, "Thou art the son of an honest and good man." But when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept.
What? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, remember Tobit slept outside and had bird shit in his eyes, and now he can't see.
I thought they got that off.
Well, you would think that blinking would get rid of it, but apparently not.
Okay.
And likewise, Edna his wife and Sarah his daughter wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully. What the fuck, man? Are they like sobbing and smiling and belly dancing at the same time?
Maybe it's wept with joy, I guess. I don't know.
And after that, they had killed a ram of the flock. They set store of meat on the table. Then said Tobias to Raphael, "Brother Azarias, speak of those things which thou didst talk in the way, and let this business be dispatched." So how the fuck do they know they're there for business?
I don't fucking know.
Maybe they're there for pleasure.
So he communicated the matter with Ragul, and Ragul said to Tobias, "Eat and drink and make merry, for it is meet that thou shouldst marry my daughter. Nevertheless, I will declare unto thee the truth.
I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men who died that night they came in unto her. Nevertheless, for the present, be merry. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till we agree and swear one another.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm doing a suicide pact here, man. I'm gonna screw your daughter or die trying, and I'm not gonna eat until I nail her.
Oh boy.
Ragul said, Then take her from henceforth according to the manner, for thou art her cousin. So you chase her down in the yard and rape her. And she is thine, and the merciful God give you good success in all things.
Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand, and gave her to be wife to Tobias, saying, Behold, take her after the law of Moses, and lead her away to thy father. And he blessed them, and called Edna his wife, and took paper, and did write an instrument of covenants, and sealed it. Oh boy.
Then they began to eat. After Ragul called his wife Edna, Krabothel, and said unto her, Sister, damn, these are a bunch of inbreeders. Prepare another chamber, and bring her in thither. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go be like my cousin and dig this guy a grave in the backyard.
He's going to need it. When she had done as he had bidden her, she brought her thither, and she wept. They like to cry, and she received the tears of her daughter, and said unto her, Be of good comfort, my daughter. The Lord of heaven and earth give thee joy for this thy sorrow. Be of good comfort, my daughter. Oh, Lord.
This is insane.
Just don't kill this one.
And when they had supped, they brought Tobias in unto her. And as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, and took the ashes of the perfumes, and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon, and made a smoke therewith.
Oh, here we go. The which smell, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into the utmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. And after that they were both shut in together. Tobias rose out of his bed and said, Sister, arise, and let us pray that God would have pity on us.
So he fucked her, and now he's going to pray.
Yep.
Then began Tobias to say, Blessed art thou, O God of our fathers, for thy hast gotten me late. And blessed is thy holy and glorious name forever. Let the heavens bless thee and all thy creatures. What a pointless prayer.
Yeah, that's most prayers, though.
Thou madest Adam and gavest Eve his wife for an helper and stay. Of them came mankind. Thou hast said, It is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself.
And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lush, but uprightly. Therefore mercifully ordain that we may become aged together. And she said with him, Amen.
So they both slept so they slept both that night, and Ragul arose and went and made a grave. It's a family tradition, saying, I fear lest he also be dead. Now, don't you think that she's going to be screaming her fool head off if dude has dropped dead before he banged her? Of course.
Not now. She's probably so fucking used to it by now.
I'll just sleep next to him and let Father get him out of here in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when Ragul was coming to his house, he said unto his wife Edna, Send one of the maids, and let her see whether he be alive. If he be not, that we may bury him, and no man know it. God. If you thought this was going to happen, why the fuck would you let him marry her anyway?
So the maid opened the door, and went in, and found them both asleep, and came forth and told them that he was alive.
8 times the charm, I guess.
I guess so.
Then Ragul praised God, and said, O God, thou art worthy to be praised with all pure and holy praise. Therefore let thy saints praise thee with all thy creatures, and let all thine angels and thine elect praise thee forever. Thou art to be praised, for thou hast made me joyful, and that is not come to me which I suspected. But thou hast dealt with us according to thy great mercy.
Yeah, okay. Thou art to be praised because thou hast had mercy of two that were the only begotten children of their fathers, who were cousins or brothers, we're not really sure which.
Yeah.
Grant them mercy, O Lord, and finish their life in health with joy and mercy. So they'll be perfectly healthy and happy until they're dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However short that is.
Yeah. Then Ragul bade his servants to fill the grave. I spent all morning digging this up. You fucking fill it, bitch.
And he kept the wedding feast 14 days. That's one hell of a feast.
Yeah.
For before the days of the marriage were finished, Ragul had said unto him by an oath that he should not depart till the 14 days of the marriage were expired. And then he should take the half of his goods and go in safety to his father, and should have the rest when I and my wife be dead. Okay.
Then Tobias called Raphael and said unto him, Brother Azarias, take with thee a servant and 2 camels, and go to Rages of Media to Gabil, and bring me the money, and bring him to the wedding.
For Ragul hath sworn that I shall not depart, but my father counteth the days, and if I tarry long, he will be very sorry.
So Raphael went out and lodged with Gabil, and gave him the handwriting, who brought forth bags which were sealed up, and gave them to him. And in the early morning they went forth both together, and came to the wedding, and Tobias blessed his wife.
Okay. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Now Tobit, his father, counted every day, and when the days of the journey were expired, and they came not, then Tobit said, Are they detained, or is Gabel dead? And there is no man to give him the money?
Therefore he was very sorry. Then his wife said unto him, I told you so, you son of a bitch. My son is dead, seeing he stayeth long. And she began to wail him, and said, Now I care for nothing, my son, since I have let thee go, the light of mine eyes.
To whom Tobit said, Hold thy peace, woman. Take no care, for he is safe. I added the woman part. But she said, Hold thy peace, and deceive me not. My son is dead. And she went every day into the way which they went, and did eat no meat on the daytime, and ceased not whole nights to bewail her son Tobias, until the 14 days of the wedding were expired, which Ragul had sworn that he should spend there. Then Tobias said to Ragul, Let me go, for my father and my mother look no more to see me. Okay.
But his father-in-law said unto him, Tarry with me, and I will send to thy father, and they shall declare unto him how things go with thee. But Tobias said, No, but let me go to my father.
Then Ragul arose and gave him Sarah his wife, and half his goods, servants and cattle and money. And he blessed them and sent them away, saying, The God of heaven give you a prosperous journey, my children.
Well, isn't that nice? Guy says, Hey, I gotta leave, and he's like, Okay, you can leave. Take your wife with you.
Oh, wait, there's one more.
Yeah.
And he said to his daughter, Honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are thou now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her. And also said to Tobias, The Lord of heaven restore thee, my dear brother, and grant that I may see thy children of my daughter Sarah before I die, that I may rejoice before the Lord. Behold, I commit my daughter unto thee of special trust. Where our do not retreat, entreat her evil.
Yeah, I don't know. You're fucking gibberish.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So did he stayed gone 2 weeks, and his mom thought he was dead?
It stayed gone at least 2 weeks. We don't know how long it took him to get from wherever he was to Rages. So, it may have taken... We don't know the distance, how long it took him to get from Nineveh to Rages. So, that could have been a couple of days, or that could have been a couple of weeks, or somewhere in between. And then the family said, the parents were like, okay, he's been gone this long. That's how long it should have taken him to get there. So figure he stays a couple of days. Now we figure he comes back, and he's not back. So he's fucking dead.
That's a goddamn. Things must have been rough back then. To just assume people dying and shit because they haven't been there. They don't get there on time.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you leave with a total stranger that you've, you know.
Yeah, that's. Well, it's an angel, though, right? So, I mean, you got nothing to worry about then.
Yeah, but you don't know that. You just know he's a total stranger.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, that's enough of this monstrosity, although this is certainly more entertaining than the last one we read. I will give it that. You want to tell everybody about your podcast?
Oh, yeah. Check me out at podunkpolymath.com. I'm on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, Podunk Polymath. You can check me out huge places. iTunes, Stitcher, and your RSS catcher feed thingy, too. So.
All right. Sounds great. And unfortunately, you're starting to do what's known as Cyloning, which means you sound like you're a
Yeah, you did it too.
Yeah, so your internet connection is going. So we'll just sign off here, and we'll do it again soon, I'm sure.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Thanks for being on.
All right, man. Later.
That's it for this episode of The Atheist in the Trailer Park Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, as well as just about anywhere else podcasts can be found. Many of the episodes are also on YouTube. Follow the show on Twitter. @TParkAtheist is the show's Twitter handle. It's on Facebook at facebook.com/trailerparkatheist.com. If you happen to like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. If you'd like to support the podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can support it via Patreon at patreon.com/TNTucker. Thanks for listening.
Say goodnight, Fosnots.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
Damned cat.